Welcome to Unpopular Opinion, a show where I clickbait you into talking about my shitty opinions. Spider-Man Homecoming was a well-received film by most audiences, earning a 92% by Rotten Tomatoes with an audience score of 88%. So, who in their right mind would disagree with the majority? Me. What the fuck? Personally, I think this is worse than Spider-Man 3, and I'm trying to forget about the Andrew Garfield film, so please don't bring him up. So, why do I think this is a bad Spider-Man movie? In brief, it's not about Spider-Man. Anyone familiar with the comics will notice that there's more than one Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe. Peter Parker of Universe 616 is not the most powerful or most unique. So what is it that draws us to this character? It's because he's you, and it's because he's me. The underdog who didn't have an upper hand in life, but with one small chance became one of the greatest superheroes ever created. Suffering many tragedies in his life and coming from a humble origin, he conquers all odds with a selfless sense of morality. Someone who's driven to do the right thing, even at his own expense. Does that sound anything like what we saw in Spider-Man Homecoming? Personally, I cannot relate to someone who was bitten by a radioactive spider, got superpowers, then was funded by a billionaire Tony Stark, ditched school without any consequences, and then got the hot senior girl at his high school.
You screwed up.
That last part alone should be the Spider-Man struggle. His high school experience sounds freaking awesome! For the most part, I don't feel like Spider-Man was that impressive of a hero in this film. His suit could do more than he could. A lot of Marvel movies have had similar tropes of the characters being beyond their tools, and it's themselves that make the hero. In this film, they almost did a good job of it. Peter beats the Vulture in his homemade suit without using any tech, showing that clothes don't make the man. But at the end, Peter's given another tech suit. What the fuck? You destroyed your own message. Sure, he says no, but his current suit is already super teched out. Also, we've seen the Infinity War trailer. We all know he gets the suit. One thing I'm curious about is what can the new suit do? Like, his current suit in this film can basically do everything. It's like upgrading an iPhone from a 6 to a 6S. Is there really going to be a difference? His current suit can already see through walls, hear audio through walls, has a kill mode, taser web, 200 web configurations,
576 possible web shooter combinations,
a spider germ, parachute, and web wings. Personally, I'm okay with the spider tracers. This is about the same technology that the Iron Spider outfit has in the comics. I would be lying if I said this movie didn't use the source material. The entire story is actually based from Spider-Man comics from 2015. Not a great year for Spider-Man comics. In Dan Slott's new Spider-Man, Peter becomes a billionaire that constantly says, "I'm not Tony Stark." In those comics, he creates a tech-filled lab and uses more unnecessary shit than Iron Man.
Including this heater.
Billionaire is not Spider-Man's color. Would anyone want to watch a broke Batman film? Spider-Man shouldn't rely on technology to be a crime fighter, but rather his wit and will. This was shown really well in the Superior Spider-Man story arc. The other comic is called Spidey. Spider-Man and Iron Man team up to stop the Vulture from stealing Stark technology. It's the same exact premise, except Peter doesn't get to go to the dance because he was always fighting the Vulture. It ends when Tony takes Spider-Man to fight a fucking dragon! Just to get over a girl. Man, with this shot right here, I was so certain we'd see Fing Fang Foom. God damn, that'd be so cool! Another thing that bothered me was Spider-Man wasn't funny. His supporting cast was, the situations were, but he was not funny.
What?
Tom Holland is praised for his portrayal of Spider-Man. In my opinion, it's not that good, but I think it can be, and I think we will see it get better in his portrayal in Infinity War. In Civil War, I was 100% sold. I was on board. I think this was mainly due to the Russo brothers understanding the character. It's the first time we see Tom Holland's Spider-Man, or more importantly, his Peter Parker. A young man from humble beginnings trying to do what's right and still succeed in his personal life.
I got homework.
You want to be a high school dropout?
I am so far beyond high school right now.
He didn't want to be an Avenger. He wanted to protect the little guy. He was clearly very clever by creating his own web fluid and playing with old tech. Something I did when I was his age. He's naive but still learning. He also had spider sense in the film, even though that was not explicitly mentioned. Well, in this film, they just fucking forgot about it. There were good things about this film. Vulture was an actual threat, Spider-Man wasn't saving the city like he had in every movie before. He was just kind of falling in a heist. I also like how he webs up the bad guy at the end as opposed to, you know, murdering them. But while some things separated this film from others, some things didn't. Vulture being related to Liz Allen is a surprise villain connection, but it's not a particularly good one. It's been done in every Spider-Man film. I can't understand why Spider-Man happens to know all his villains on a personal level. Just seems kind of convenient. This movie has a very different direction, and not for the better in my opinion. I think this has been due to Marvel dumbing down their films as of late, and also director John Watts not really knowing the character that well. Most of the interesting plot points were spoiled on the trailer anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And that doesn't even matter because it doesn't stick to its own messages in the film. I guess I prefer a Spider-Man that appreciates great power and responsibility. If you think something differently, good for you. Please like and subscribe, and let me know if there are any other films you'd like me to discuss. Thanks for watching.